Whoa, it's time to begin officially. Thank you to be here with us. I think you are now comfortably installed in the classroom. If not, I suggest you to remind your student experience and to concentrate your thinking on something which was so good for you in this period. If you are well installed, comfortably installed, I think you are ready to be a social worker. So now, I propose to you to live in an inverted classroom. Some students want to talk to you.
Paris lo soschieso telete pano Paris-Sum.
Bienvenue à la conférence européenne à Paris. Willkommen in la Conferencia Europea de París.
Bienvenido a la Conferencia Europea en París.
Willkommen die Europea Conference in Paris.
Chào mừng bạn đến hội nghị châu Âu ở Paris.
Paris. Bienvenue à la Conferencia Europea de Paris.
Welcome bei Europäischen Konferenz in Paris.
Benvenuti alla Conferencia Europea de Paris.
Paris-Avrupa Konferansı hoş geldiniz.
Paris-Avrupa Konferansı hoş geldiniz. Europea Conferencia in Paris.
Καλώς ήρθατε στην Ευρωπαϊκή Διάσκεψη στο Παρίσι.
Καλώς ήρθατε στην Ευρωπαϊκή Διάσκεψη του Παρισιού.
Merhaba bir confirmo conferenze per Paris.
Van tenir la loque de la Conferencia de Paris.
Bine ați venit la Conferința Europeană de la Paris.
Benvedis Conferencia de Paris.
Willkommen der Europäischen Konferenz de Paris.
Tom 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 scriva, tom 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 Conferencia Paris. Vitam Europei Conferencia in Pariso.
Fajnia, hodokokoj. Lai minuten Conferenze den Paris.
Todos li Conferencia Europea in Paris.
Paris do Paris kuduso.
Welcome to the European Conference in Paris.
The world is mine. The world is mine.
Thank you to this student. It was not easy to do that, and it's a very nice video. So now I wanted to invite all of you to move your body a little bit, and this in the first time to invite you to challenges boundaries. So now I invite you to stand up, and I give you some minutes to present yourself with your neighbor in front of you, in the left, in the right, during 5 minutes, who you are. Hello, how are you? Thank you for your participation. So now I will invite Mr. Dardel as the president of the University René Descartes, who hosts all of us here in this prestigious houses, to say some word. Mr. Dardel.
I try the hand mic. I think it's slightly better for the acoustic surrounding. So my name is Frédéric Dardel. I am the president, in other country you would say rector of this university, and I just want to be here to say a few words of welcome to this conference which is taking place in our university today. It's very interesting for us to have this conference here for a number of reasons. I'll tell you a little bit about the university so you can understand why we had some interest in hosting that. Paris-Descartes University is a rather large multidisciplinary university. We have about 40,000 students in 10 faculties. And the main focus, although we are multidisciplinary, the main focus of the university is health and social sciences. So we train physicians, pharmacists, midwives, nurses, but also mathematicians, physicians, chemists, and that sort of thing. I'm a biochemist. I teach sometime in this lecture room, and it's very nice to see that we have a committed audience with everybody seating in the front, whereas my students tend to sit in the back a little bit. But I'll try your trick to have people at the beginning of the year to introduce themselves to their neighbor. I think that would be nice. Maybe I'll waste 5 or 10 minutes, of course, but it might be an interesting thing to try and develop the sense of group within a group of students. So we have an interest in training social workers, because we do train social workers in some of our faculties in the large sense. I mean, the specific training in social work, but also in clinical psychology. We have a faculty of psychology, which is the oldest in France. It was created in the 1920s in the Sorbonne, and we still host the largest psychology institute, and psychologists also contribute to social work in several areas for special publics like aging people, disabled people, either physically or mentally disabled. So we have a lot of things going on in that area too. We have also a faculty of social sciences, which is in the building in the back. So if you go into the main hall and cross the small courtyard, you will enter the social sciences faculty, and they also train people in various aspects of social work. So there is a strong interest in that. And I think there is a strong connection between health and social work. I don't know if you know the World Health Organization definition of health. Have you read that before? Health is defined by World Health Organization as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So you see that the social world also appears in the definition of health by the international organization. And I think this takes part of our endeavor to train future people going to work for the well-being of our society and our communities. And having said that, I'd like to wish you a very good conference here. We hope we enjoy the building. It's a building which was built in the late 30s and finished after the war. So you don't know it, but you're actually sitting over a nuclear shelter, which is down below, which was built because this building was finished in the Cold War, which you can see a little bit in the sort of the style of the decoration of this lecture hall. So I think you enjoy really very much this place. Enjoy being in Paris. Have very fruitful discussions and talks, and I wish you a very pleasant time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dardel, and thank you to host us here. I would like now to invite a special person for me, because she hosts me at the first time when I began to work in international social work, and it was a very welcome me and nice. So I present Annamaria Campanini, President of the International Association of Schools of Social Work.
Alors, bonjour à tous. J'aurais aimé adresser mon mot, mes mots en français, mais on m'a dit que c'était mieux en anglais pour la traduction. Donc, je vais avec l'anglais maintenant. Dear colleagues, I am very honored to intervene in this opening section on behalf of the International Association of Schools of Social Work. You know, the regional conferences that are organized in rotation with the international one, and the next one will be in July 2018 in Dublin, are very special occasion to recognize and develop commonalities between different countries, different regions of the world, but also to enrich the way of thinking and intervening in social work through the interchange of our diversities. The international dimension of social work is deeply integrated into the profession and into the discipline. In the past century, René Saint, a Belgian doctor, following the idea that to promote a real social development was necessary to consider the interconnection of different elements, economic, social, and health, identified the importance of activating a professionalization process in the philanthropic sector. After his participation in the National Conference of Social Work in the United States, he organized here in Paris in 1928 the first International Conference of Social Work. And you can imagine at that time the participation was 2,421 people coming from 42 different nations of the world. We sometimes complain about the journey from our different countries, and you can imagine at that time how long was the journey for people coming from other continents. And also here in Paris, that from this conference, the three international associations, the International of the Association of the School, the International Federation of Social Workers, and the International Council of Social Welfare have been generated. So Paris for us has a very important meaning. And today, we are still here to discuss and exchange ideas and experience in face of a new challenge. For promoting a sustainable development, we must consider another factor to be connected with the economic, social, and health elements, the environment. As Edgar Morin states, it is time to consider ecology not only under the physical and technological aspects, but adopting a systemic vision of the world. It is fundamental to recognize the complex interdependence between the human being and the natural world. The third pillar of the global agenda, a joint initiative of the three international associations to strengthen our voice and enhance human rights and social justice, demands us to be committed in activities and programs aimed at protecting the environment, promoting a development that integrates the physical context with the people who inhabit it. This requires a change of mindset and openness to challenge boundaries, to create a new interdisciplinary and interprofessional alliances. The availability to get involved with the local communities and people who are using services to generate sustainable patterns of socioeconomic development, even at micro level. As educators, we are confronted with this challenge in a scenario that is characterized by many threats on different levels: economic crisis, neoliberal shift, withdrawal of the state in the welfare system, massive migration and displacement of population. The answer to the problems that are originated in globalized processes need to be found with the global cooperation, where every point of view is important and can give a substantial contribution to create possible solutions. As international association, we would benefit of all the regional partners, and I know that the language problems sometimes can be an obstacle to to actively participate in the global discussion. I think that this conference can have an important impact in strengthening communication channels between the French and Francophone schools and the International Association. I am sure that this conference will be, as the other in the past, a very interesting arena where we can confront experiences, challenges, perspectives in a friendly atmosphere respectful of diversity. I wish you a fruitful work and enjoy your stay in Paris. Thank you.
Thank you, Annamaria. Very interesting opening. I invite now Lima Fernandez, which is president of the Regional International Federation of Social Work. She comes from Spain and she will speak in Spanish, and you can read the translation in English at the screen. Ana.
Good morning, buenos días. Bueno, en primer lugar, me gustaría saludar a todas las autoridades que nos acompañan, a los y las docentes, a los estudiantes y compañeros y compañeras de profesión. Y me gustaría agradecer mucho a la organización de este congreso la oportunidad de participar en este acto de apertura. Es para mí todo un honor poder representar a miles y miles de trabajadores y trabajadoras sociales desde la Federación Europea de Trabajo Social en Europa. Juntos defendemos los derechos de las personas, el compromiso con el desarrollo económico y social y los derechos humanos son la esencia de nuestra profesión, es nuestro ADN. Y así lo dice la definición del trabajo social. Durante los próximos días vamos a reflexionar sobre la educación en trabajo social en Europa, desafiando límites y promocionando un futuro sostenible. Un lema realmente provocador, ya que nuestra sociedad está viviendo un cambio de paradigma que plantea desafíos económicos, políticos, socioculturales y ecológicos a los que el trabajo social debe encarar desde la educación, pero también desde la praxis. En este cambio de paradigma, que es fruto de muchos factores, pero en gran parte de las políticas con las que se ha afrontado la crisis económica que ha afectado a toda Europa. En este contexto, nuestra profesión tiene mucho que decir. De nuestra labor también depende en gran parte el futuro de nuestros conciudadanos. De nosotros también depende desarrollar una versión alternativa al precariado y a la opresión. Apostamos por responder a las necesidades sociales desde el enfoque de la justicia social y los derechos, y no solo desde la ayuda paliativa y benéfica. A las universidades, en este caso, también les afecta la austeridad en modo de recortes en sus recursos o la orientación neoliberal del desempeño. Todo ello se tiene que conjugar con la mejora y el impulso de las titulaciones de grado y posgrado en trabajo social en Europa. Es un gran desafío, sin duda. También lo es la sistematización de la práctica y la incorporación de la innovación y las nuevas tecnologías de la comunicación y la información en el ámbito docente y profesional. Necesitamos nuevas pedagogías e intercambio de experiencias y conocimientos entre la práctica, la educación y la investigación, siempre contando con las personas usuarias. Pero las universidades tienen muchos desafíos. Algunos de ellos van mucho más allá de sus paredes, deben romper muros y aportar un marco teórico para la generación de un compromiso con la ciudadanía, contribuir a empoderar a las personas, movilizar su talento y generar cambios para que participen y se impliquen en la resolución de sus problemas. Queremos hacer acompañamiento social y no control social. Es necesario vincularse con los movimientos sociales, también la integración y la consolidación del trabajo social en ámbitos emergentes y disponer de herramientas para abordar las complejidades de nuestras realidades. Las metodologías de evaluación del impacto son fundamentales para medir la influencia de nuestro trabajo en las políticas sociales. Además, son importantes para mostrar el efecto positivo de nuestro trabajo que nuestro trabajo puede tener en las personas y en las sociedades. Desde las organizaciones de la práctica en Europa queremos avanzar hacia el pilar de derechos sociales que presentó la Comisión Europea el 26 de abril. Los profesionales nos reafirmamos como agentes que velamos por el cumplimiento de los Objetivos de Desarrollo Sostenible que marca la ONU. Es necesario que cuestionemos como profesión los sistemas de poder como el patriarcado y el capitalismo. Es necesario para analizar las causas que generan las desigualdades. Nuestros principios éticos nos llevan a establecer alianzas con el feminismo y la cultura de la paz. Además de incorporar la visión del trabajo social verde, como hilo conductor de lo común que introduce una mayor contribución a la sostenibilidad, y esto hace que cobre una mayor importancia la acción comunitaria y la gobernanza multinivel como indispensables para construir este nuevo paradigma en el que creemos. Las organizaciones profesionales de trabajo social velamos por la ética y la deontología en la práctica, así como contribuimos como órganos consultivos a la implantación y el desarrollo de las condiciones estructurales, organizativas y el estatus profesional en trabajo social. En este congreso se visibilizará la conexión entre la teoría y la práctica y se verá que depende en gran medida de que mejoremos los procesos de transferencia, de investigación e innovación. Una mayor presencia de profesionales en las universidades ayudaría a mejorar el conocimiento de la realidad social desde esa práctica y desde la innovación que es necesaria para abordar los desafíos sociales. Nos necesitamos. Es por ello que debemos ir de la mano, por coherencia y por interés, para nosotros y para las personas y las sociedades con las que trabajamos. Desde la Federación Europea de Trabajadores Sociales que presido, estamos iniciando un proceso de valoración para confluir en las conferencias europeas de trabajo social con la Asociación Europea de Escuelas. Esta posible confluencia será uno de los elementos de estudio y debate para los próximos años en nuestra federación. Depende de la universidad preparar a futuros trabajadores y trabajadoras sociales, sin comprometer los valores de la profesión. Un gran reto que requiere que la posición del trabajo social en el mundo académico deberá ser mucho más fuerte. Está en nuestras manos promover que los recursos de los que disponemos se caminen al cumplimiento de los derechos humanos, de los derechos sociales, de los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible, de la igualdad y del bienestar. Juntos tenemos que desafiar los límites entre la teoría y la práctica. Desde la Federación Europea de Trabajadores Sociales queremos tender lazos, trabajar conjuntamente con las universidades, porque juntos podemos defender mejor a las personas, a su entorno, a su derecho a tener una vida que merezca la pena ser vivida. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos.
Thank you, Anna Lima. Thank you, Annamaria. I think these two discourses both are a very good support for all the teachers in the room. And there is a very large view of the question about international social work and challenges. Thank you. It's my pleasure now to invite Mr. Jean-Philippe Vinquant from the Ministry of Social Affairs, the representative of the Ministry of France.
I'm very, very honored to be with you, among you today for this opening ceremony of this European conference with the support of the French Ministry, the French Department for Solidarity and for Health. That the new name of the ministry, it's no longer the Ministry for Social Affairs and Health, and now the solidarities are in the agenda of this ministry. This conference has been organized with the support of the Direction Générale de la Cohésion Sociale and many partners, and I thank the University Paris-Descartes to welcome us here today. It reminds us our student years, because I was a student very nearby the Rue des Saints-Pères. I congratulate the two organizers, the European Association of Schools of Social Work and l'Union nationale des acteurs de la formation de la recherche en intervention sociale, because organizing a conference of such size with nearly 1,000 participants is a real challenge. But I thank them too to have put the European issue of social affairs, of social works in the agenda of this meeting. I think it's very important for us to feel more European or more Europe in social affairs and in social works. Yes, I'm very happy that this second conference is taking place in Paris after Milan 2 years ago, because in France we have the home country, we are the home country of Louis-René Villermé, who denounced the children work in the 19th century, of Émile Zola, of Émile Durkheim, of Pierre Bourdieu, of Pierre Larocque, the father of the French social security, and also the home country of Robert Castel, a philosopher, a sociologist, who worked all his life with Pierre Bourdieu to try to define the social issue, la question sociale and its metamorphosis. And he was a teacher in Paris-la-Sorbonne and then in the École des Hautes Études en Sciences Sociales. And he perceived very early in his work the main role that social work is having within, along the social state or the social security. Because it's very important to think social work in terms of social action, social intervention, social promotion of people. And it's very important that the social workers are supported in accompanying people to rights, to citizenship, and to autonomy. Because there is a strong minority of people in our countries who are not protecting, such as in the past, with all the protection linked to work. Social security, the social system that have been built initially for workers, and then there have been some initiative for the more deprived or the elder people. But our systems have been built mainly on the link with work and the protection of work. And I think it's one great challenge for social work and social policy to address people being kept away from work a long time and deprived from the rights, the social link, the social promotion which goes along with working. And as you might know, France has now a very ambitious policy in the social work field. We have a national plan, a global plan on social work and social development since 2015, and the plan is brand new, only 2 years old, but a lot have been done. First, to have a definition of social work and social intervention in the right field. There have been a decree passed very recently in last May to take the international definition of social work, work by the International Association, of course, and adopt it in Melbourne. And with the High Council of Social Work, who has been installed in France last year, we have taken the best parts of the definition and adapted it to the French context to have a new kind of guideline defining what is social work, what is the role of social workers. I think that's very important to have this frame recently set in France. A very central part of this plan is about the training of social workers. I think it's very important. Of course, scholar of academic trainings in school, in university, and training all along the professional career of social workers. And in this field, we have a plan to adapt, to modernize the training, to make it more coherent with the evolution of society, of the social situation of the people we are trying to help, and to strong evolutions such as the numeric society, because I think it's a great challenge to make the most of all the digital numeric technologies, but with a very strong attention to people that might be in a numeric gap and will not access easily to all the numeric or digital services. We are trying to build a new pillar of formation, of training, common with the social worker of the same level or the same field. We think it's very important to develop the transversal skills to make sure that social worker will have the same background, such in the ethic approach of social work, how to make people participate to the policy, the social policy which are led, and I think it's even more important, making people participate to the elaboration of their own project of life, their own project of promotion. And I think listening to the people, making them participate to the training, making them participate to the decisions taken toward their right to a social head, it's very important. The French system is quite singular in Europe because we have a very strong network of social work schools. In some of your country there are schools in social work, but mainly it's the university that train the future social workers in your country. And in our country, with the new plan adopted, there is a very strong and dynamic movement between the schools in social work and the university to make sure that the students in social works will have access to a recognition by the university of the level of their academic training or their academic skills, so that they will have more opportunities in continuing their studies in the university system, having more diverse careers and changing their field of intervention from one matter to another, and to have also a geographic mobility in all European countries, I hope, and we are strongly committed to make the Bologna system work for social workers. And last but not least, there is a very strong ambition in this plan to develop research in social work. Research, of course, for the sake of knowledge. Without knowing the social issues, without knowing the social determinants, it's very hard for a social worker to intervene. But it's also very important to have a kind of transfer between knowledge and practices of social workers and make sure they can benefit from the fruits of research in their daily work. So as you can see, there is a strong will of modernization of social work, and I think this conference is a very strong opportunity to share, to listen to other countries' experiences, and to make sure that the French minds will benefit from all this diversity of countries, of social workers, of teachers here today in Paris, and you will also have a presentation of some French initiatives I think are very interesting in the field of social work. So I thank you all participants of the conference. I thank again the two organizers, and I wish you a very rich and fructuous exchanges today with these 3 days of conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vinquant, and thank you to speak in English because it was not the program at the beginning. And for that, our friend John Ward, who is here, has not to translate. Thank you, John. So I wanted to address some things now. Some thanks for our partners. UNESCO, who is the official partner of this conference, and you will see many tools, many proposals, many ways to collaborate with UNESCO as a part of the UN organization and part of the UN goals. So it's a very good thing to have this partnership with UNESCO. A second partner of this conference, we have the patronage of the Council of Europe, who is a really, really important organization for us as a European social worker about the human right and also about sustainable development. I want to thank all of you participants. You are coming from 39 countries around the world, not only from Europe, but also from different parts of the world. I think we have to be more proactive to invite more people from Africa, from South America, who cannot attend this time in our city in Paris. So it's a project for the future for us. I want also to thank all of you who send a contribution, who will present your work, your reflection, your practices in the next day. I want also to thank all the members of the scientific committee who works a lot to prepare, because there is a lot of contribution. We will speak about that later. I want to thank the member of the EC of UNAFORIS and EASSW also, who works a lot to prepare. And I want also to address a special thanks to a lot of people of the team of UNAFORIS who prepare actively this conference, and you can meet here in the conference. Diane, who is the director of UNAFORIS, and Chloe, with the responsible of the organization of this meeting. I want also... Yeah. Thank you. I want... thank you, Diane and Chloe. I want to thank special thanks for all the team of UNAFORIS. You can see Céline, Rachel, Isabel, Margot, Sylvie, Camille, who works every day very hard, and special thanks for all of her. And also a special group, they are all teachers in different schools of social work in France, and they work, they have the daily work in a network of French network, and they decided to create the WIPA group. WIPA group is the Welcome in Paris Action Group, and you can meet her and her and him in the different part of the corridor of the room. So special thanks for all of them. And all the volunteers, the students in social work who are really open to work with us and to be present and to be active in this conference. So thank you all the volunteers, and I hope everything will be okay. So now I will invite the musician to come for a music moment, and after that we have the discourse of the two presidents of the two networks after a moment of music. And I will present this group, this younger musician, who are the Anoesis Trio.